Welcome back. How you doing? Just wanted to make a video. Mainly about just how there's no difference between me and you. Because nowadays there's a lot of stuff in society that tends to cause a lot of separation between us humans. And it's mostly because of our conditioning as we grow up and as we start to attach to more things for our personality. Even though our personality is just part of the mind, it's not us, it's just the mind. The mind is not us. The mind is just there to create that illusion of a sense of self, even though we are selfless in truth. There's no difference between me and you. We're all one. You get rid of the mind, what is there? Because the mind creates that difference between all of us. With personalities, beliefs, thoughts, feelings, emotions, opinions about things. We're all human. We all have a mind. Though some people with a mind don't really act like they have a mind sometimes within this society, just because there's so much that we have created for ourselves to keep us stuck in just always chasing after everything. That's a similarity that we all have within us, is that we're all chasing after something. It doesn't have to be that we're chasing after the same thing, we're still chasing after something. Whether it be safety, security, stability, abundance, success, love, lust for some even. It's just about your personal experience and what you're dealing with and what you're going through that determines what you are chasing. And that's the thing. When we slow down and we acknowledge the fact that our mind is just there, doing its own thing, we start to question reality itself, just because we've gotten to the point where we're more aware of everything, whether it be outside of ourselves and or inside of ourselves. And we see that in the end, all of this that we're doing, it doesn't really matter. This life is temporary. And it's short. Sorry about that. Computer is on. You know, I felt like just yesterday I was 18. And now that's 2 years in the past. But the past is irrelevant, and so is the future. The present is the only thing that is true and constant. If we really want to get complex about this topic of discussion, there's no difference between you and I. We all are going through our own human experience on the same planet together. But when it comes to our consciousness level, here and now, we all exist as unity consciousness. But our capabilities limit how much of that unity consciousness we can take in and or experience. Because life is in stages. We begin somewhere from nothing. We start from nothing, and then we build our way up into something greater than ourselves, something greater than we thought we were capable of. Because we are limitless. We can do anything in this reality. One thing that we all struggle with is that our self always holds our true potential back. If we get too busy and used to being comfortable, we lose touch of that greater self that we have within us. And the mind is always seeking that comfort. That's why there is no difference between any of us besides what's on the surface. We have differences on the surface, but deep down inside, we're all the same. And it's quite amazing to see humanity, but also the universe that way. Something we must do to break out of our comfort zone is to do things that make us uncomfortable. And sometimes it can get really confusing with the mind about what is comfortable and what isn't comfortable, just because it's going based off of feeling. That balance of feeling and doing is what gets you out of that comfort zone. It's like a constant power struggle of your mind and your soul, until you balance out both so you can be that creator without being a slave to the mind. Being a slave to the mind can make us experience a depression, which isn't very good for any of us. I'm back. I had to pause the video real quick. I thought someone was at the door of the house, but it wasn't. It was just a DoorDash. Anyways, when that depression comes, it will leave you in a cycle of chasing positive feelings and positive emotions so that you can escape that depression within the mind. Now, for some, the depression is chronic. It's something you can't get rid of. It's within the mind. But for some, that depression is simply because of how you're living and how you go about your daily life. And that's when you have to change. There will come a point in your life where you realize that there's no difference between any of us. We're either happy or sad. And when it comes to our life, when we reach that sort of stagnant stage of our life where we're not growing and we're not progressing anymore, that's where that depression comes. Because your soul craves for more, it craves for that progress and that change and that uncomfortability. But your mind wants you to do otherwise. It wants you to do the things that it wants to do so that it can stay comfortable and stay feeling in that state of, I guess, an artificial safety within that comfort. It's a little terrifying to say out loud just because a lot of people don't know how to get out of that stage of stuckness / stagnancy within our life. They become lost. They become scared. They become worried. And that's the thing. When we are in the comfort zone, we start to let the mind control how we feel, how we think on a daily basis. So then we start serving the mind rather than the mind serving us. And that's the problem. We must be in stillness to realize that of which will free us from this prison of a soul depression or of a stagnant part of our life. Because we have the answers within us for ourselves, and sometimes it takes time, but for you to speed up the process to get those answers, you must let go, allow stillness, and just kind of flow with the path and find out what it is that you are passionate about from the soul doing. Something that genuinely brings you happiness and delight and excitement when you do it. The system is becoming harder and harder to live differently from because of this society and system and economy that we've made for ourselves. It's simpler, but it's not simple on the mind, because the mind, it just catapults so much into your awareness, so that you worry, so that you fear, so that you hide away from that of which is calling to you. But we will all break out of it in divine timing. It will happen when it happens. But in the meantime, I want you to feed your soul. Sit back, relax, meditate, walk, work out, eat something of substance, staying away from the stuff that makes you feel sluggish and feeling the same, and do the stuff and intake the stuff that makes you feel better about yourself, makes you feel more secure within yourself, makes you feel more confident, makes you feel more lively. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. So I guess from this video, I wanted to say that we're not different on a deeper level. We may be different on the surface, as in our personalities, our beliefs, our feelings, our thoughts, what we look like. But to the soul, on the deeper level of awareness, we're not different. We're all just souls on our own journey, trying to experience greatness within this short life that we have. Anyways, peace.